Oh, CEO, good evening, good morning, whichever you want to refer to it as. Good morning, America. OCO. And for those of you who don't know, OCO in Cherokee means hello. And in Southern, it would mean howdy, y'all. But anyway, been looking, seeing different things going on, in this country and overseas. How in the world does anybody think that a divided nation can even stand? It's beyond me. And you have so many on one side and then one on the other, some saying, oh, we can whoop anybody. No, we can't. Well, we could. This country could whoop an invading enemy if it was united. And a lot of people forget that. All right, case in point, let's just say we have a big city and a small town. All right, we're called big city A, small town B. All right, so the little town B has a lot of weapons of every kind you can imagine. But for a long while, they never had to ever even think about using it because they've been pretty much united on stuff. Then they got to a point where they were divided. They couldn't even agree on anything, period. Everybody was suspecting everybody and this and that, and it was just real bad. So, A, the big city, decided they're going to attack and invade B. Well, in B's better days, they could, if, you know, they could stand pretty well against anybody, no matter how big they were, because they were united. But unfortunately, they became divided. And so, sure enough, A started sending its troops over to invade on B. Well, there was just a few that was always keeping an eye out on things, and they found out that A was going to attack, so they tried to warn everybody, but it was all to no avail. Okay. So, guess what happens? Yeah, you guessed it. Well, they got whooped, and B was no more. And so the thing is, what I'm trying to get at, and what I'm sure a lot of you already know, is that with this country, I mean, there's a lot of here in this country that believes that, we could stand against anybody. Well, that would normally be true. It would normally be true if, if this country is totally united. But the problem is, it is so divided, even worse than ever than in any part of history. This country, might as well just say, it is fallen, all right? But soon, it'll end up being in the hands of the enemy. And people don't get it. Now, you got all this crap going on. I mean, you just take a look at it. You got this woke movement, and you got this we had the BLM movement and all these other movements, and now you got the thing about Roe versus Wade thing, and then these women who want to murder innocent children, and they, this is my body. Well, yeah, but what good is it going to do you when you're dead? You're sitting there hollering and carrying on all about this stuff, and if they would just listen to themselves over, and life matters, and it's a big thing. But with the way they're carrying on, it's really, they're making a mountain out of a molehill. And they're threatening violence, wanting to commit criminal acts of violence. You got people in our legislature in this country that some of them are threatening violence and trying to incite violence to get people to. Because you remember sometime back when what was around January, I believe it was, of 2020, I believe. Whenever, anyway, when those people uh, took over the Capitol, and they wanted to get uh, Trump and put charges on him when he really didn't have nothing to do with it. He didn't tell these people to do it, but people will do what they want. And then plus you had Antifa inciting them, and some of the left wingers and all them helping incite it and what have you. And that's history. But the thing is, they're doing the very things that they wanted, that they were accusing Trump of, but they're actually doing it. And nobody is being arrested and charged with treason. I don't get this. But here they're inciting violence, and they're wanting, and they're doing violence against churches and all this other stuff. And I'll say this: if you're a left winger, whoever you may be, I don't care about the Democrats or the Republicans, because there's only one thing that matters is whoever is in office, if they're doing their job and doing it correctly. That should all that matters, as long as things is done right. Okay. And then you leftist people uh, sitting there carrying on like a bunch of fools, and that's what you're doing. You're inciting violence, and you're telling, well, peace, 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 violence, 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 peace, peace. Y'all are a crazy bunch of loons if I ever seen any. Y'all need to have yourselves all committed in the nut house with padded rooms. And a lot of you belong in a prison because you're criminals. You're lawbreakers. And if you don't like this country, move. Get out. You have that choice. You can either stay, abide by the laws, or get out and go do wherever somebody, whatever country or place will let you do what you want, then go there. But you won't last long because you're going to kill each other all. Bunch of dang fools. Stupid. And the whole time you're carrying on and inciting illegal crap, guess what? While you're doing this, the real danger and threats that is outside of this country is coming here. And you know what? Don't give that crap. Oh, we can sit there and whoop their butts and all this, because you know what? You're not united. None of you are. This whole dang country is not united at all. And do you think you're going to stand? If you want to stand and you want to live, if you love life, a lot of you don't, because it's obvious you want to commit crimes and acts of violence against others. So therefore, with all this division going on, and a lot of this stuff you argue about and stuff, it's trivial, stupid stuff. It don't mean squat. And then you got this stuff, you know, you want to, oh, well, what is sex? What is a gender? Dang fools. You don't even know what is male, what is female. That's pretty bad. I could just see it now. If someone asked you to go sex some chickens or ducks or whatever, you know, put you out on the farm, you wouldn't even know what to do because you're too stupid. Because you don't know what a male or female is. Some of you know, and you're just wanting to go along with the crowd, and you're just wanting to be stupid. Yeah, I'm calling you stupid, and you are free to leave your comments down below. But I want to say this: you be civil about how you speak. I will allow your comments as long as you're civil. As long as you're civil. If you're not, I'll get rid of your comments. You know, problem is that this country is so divided, they can't see the nose on their face. They probably don't even know what a nose is. What's a nose? Yeah. So, I mean, you got all this crap going on. And what in the world? Oh, I see. Never mind. I'm sorry. I got things misplaced around here. But anyway, that, you know, you have a lot of these people here in this country that's so divided. When the crapper hits the fan in this country, and I'm talking from outside sources, I'll tell you what. So we're starting to feel it now, and then people's going nuts. I'm beginning to think all them vaccines and stuff made people that were nuts even crazier. Makes you wonder. At least it does with me. But anyway, the thing is, all right, you got real crazy stuff, but I want to show you the proof. I'm going to prove to you. I can't show it. I don't know how to show the screenshot on here on StreamYard, but okay. Someone had posted on YouTube on their community thing. Now this is from on Twitter. There's someone by the name of Amanda Duarte or something like that. Duarte. Anyway, on Twitter, she says, now, check this out, all right? She says, I almost want to get pregnant with Trump's baby and let it get to full term just so I can rip it halfway out and cut its effing head off. She uses that full word there. I won't say that, but she says, now, and here are these are people that supposed to be peaceful and all this. Does that sound peaceful to you? Is this not sound like a crazy person who needs to be locked up, maybe in a nut house or whatever? That's sick. That is absolutely sick. And I'll say that right now. That is that's crazy. Now, all right, we have threats going on, and we don't know if tomorrow or the day after tomorrow and all this what's going to take place overseas, but we know it ain't good because I mean it ain't even been any good at all with the Russia invading Ukraine. But since we got involved with all this and these other countries got involved with it, it's escalating. But I'll tell you this, but see, you don't have just Russia as a threat. You got China as a threat. Or you think they're going to tell you that on your world news? Oh heck no. They're too busy focusing on Roe versus Wade and all this stuff, and they're inciting violence and all this. What do you think's going to happen once the enemy from overseas, and it's not just Russia, you got China and North Korea, and there's some others that's going to come over and kick our butts, and they're going to win. Why? Why are they going to win? Because people are not united. They're too divided. United, we stand. Divided, we fall. That's period. And I don't care what your differences are. I don't care what your differences are. The threats is real. If you even truly at all understood and grasped the true meaning of freedom, of even understood what the people that came from overseas to come over here to start a new home, to flee the oppression that they were undergoing, to want to start new. Do you think those people, a lot of you, your ancestors, do you think that they would nod their heads and, oh, you just said you're so good, great, 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 great grandchildren. Oh, we did love you. Oh no, they get sick to their stomach and turn in their graves if they're not already. Probably weeping and crying because you bunch out there who doing all this fighting over, it's a lot of it over trivial stuff, and the things that really matter when it comes to freedoms and stuff, you abuse it and warp it and twist it into your own making, and then it's not freedom. It's not valuing life. It's the opposite of it all. You sicken me, you bunch that are like that. You sicken a lot of people. And then you want to attack churches? I don't care what your difference is with whatever skin color. It don't make a difference. Who's what, male or female? And you that don't know whether you're male or female and says, oh, I want to be referred to as them. Go find you an island somewhere. Get people to, fork some money up and get it all in. Go buy you an island. Go over there and see how long you last. Because you're crazy. I'm sorry. That's just crazy. That's crazy talk. And here we are. We're facing a threat outside that's going to come here. And y'all carrying on like this. And when someone sounded the warning that they're already here or they're on their way, y'all just be living in your little old bubble. You're going to find out what a real threat is. And then are you going to drop your nonsense? Are you going to drop your crap on I'm not a he, I'm a she, or I'm not a he, I'm a she, I'm a them, I'm an it. What planet are you from? Bunch of dang fools. Well, my father, he'd give you some words if he was still alive today. And I tell you, there's a lot of elders out there that could tell you what they think about this whole crap. It doesn't matter if it's Native Americans who've been here way before any of y'all have been here, or what. What is past is past. We cannot change the past. It is the now, the present, working towards the future that matters. And you're wasting it all on crap. You don't make no sense. You have none. And then, and then on here on YouTube, y'all too focused on your dang channels to sit there and care about what's going on around you. Not everyone is that way on YouTube. I know a lot of, on here that I know personally, they care. But I'm talking about all these others out there, which is obvious. You can, as you're going through viewing the different channels and videos on there, they're like, you can see they don't care about what all they want is money, 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 and care about them, me, me, me. That's their thinking. Me, me, me. Want to look good, get more likes, get more follows, and this and this and that, and that's all they care about. And then they have to invent drama or anything else that they got to do stupid stuff in order to show more people what. People care more about stupid than they do things that make sense in this world. See, I have this channel because I care about people. All right. And the reason why I'm going on the topics and things that I've been going on this channel is because I care, and I want people to think, okay, that we can be united, to start thinking about reevaluating your own principles, your thoughts, about yourself, your life, what's around you, and seeing the need of being truly united. And united doesn't mean that when so and so has a different opinion than yours that you got to agree with them. No, it means you respect their differences on the opinion, but also respect that we each have our own, we have our own thoughts, even though we might not agree. But what matters is caring about each other. That is freedom, and what love and the heart means. That means honor, integrity, spirit. I have failed to see it today. It really stinks, man. It really does. And I have a few videos, couple here. I would show you more, but it's something to make you think. All right. And I think the Marfoogle News is where both of these comes from, and these reports and stuff. Now, whether you want to believe it or take it with a grain of salt and stuff, it brings a point of things that are going on that you're not going to hear on your world news on TV, because there's a lot of things that they can't, are not allowed to, or there a lot of them are too, but the other though are too busy focused on this woke movement crap, Biden's administration and his idiotic crew, as I call them. It's all about the Democrats, and we got to get rid of the evil Republicans. You call that united? Y'all a bunch of divided fools. I'm Democrat. I'm a Republican. You know how stupid that sounds? That sounds idiotic. To me, I see that as stupid. I don't hear any united there. It's divided. As long as someone that's in office, that's got honor and integrity, who can do the job as the way they're supposed to, then this country, a lot of things can be really great for it, especially if people would lay aside this crap about Oh no, that's a Democrat. No, that's a Republican. I don't care about that MAGA crowd or whatever. You know what you sound like? And you want to put acts of violence on churches? You sound like a bunch of dang full grown, homegrown communists. And that's what I will call you, because that is what you're doing. You got socialism, communism, it's the same thing. There is no freedom. They look on just the surface, of their own making, and it all looks so pretty to them, but not to people who have integrity and honor. But they don't want to see, and that's the word. They don't want to see what's truly underneath. They don't want to see the full picture. But I want you to hear something. Now this is, mind you, this is the threats that we're facing. But you got to listen. All right, now this one has to do with about off of the coast of Hawaii. This is the first one that I'm going to show you. You got to hear it. You got to listen to it. Listen to it all. And it's disturbing. All right, here goes.
Confirmed that they had spot with single surveillance vessel and possibly submersible vehicles as well. And that's, dude, we're talking like 10 miles off the coast of Maui and Big Island.
Nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect my opinion, Dex's opinion, or anyone else who works with the show.
Sorry, I had that thing muted. You can go to their channel, Marfugal News, and check them out. And if you want, you can subscribe to them or not. But check out their stuff there, But okay, I will continue.
Oh, you should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. If you have not already, it helps us out if you end up going through any of our affiliates, and it helps you out if you end up protecting yourself against cybercrime. NordVPN is one of the best and one of the easiest to use. If you do not have a virtual private network, it protects your IP address, which is your... We have Justin True talking about Vladian surveillance ship off of the coast of Hawaii and other vessels. Hey, first of all, Justin True, just want to say what's going on, and thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Thanks for having me again. It's been all quiet over here, so I haven't really figured there's any reason to call, but this has kind of been first time I saw it myself. I kind of got shaken, dude. We have give you a little backstory, man. We have a 36-foot fishing vessel that my family takes out on the weekends, and we just go hang out off this point, kind of off of the north side of Big Island in Hawaii. And everybody that goes near this buoy, all the fishermen, they all go out there early in the morning. There's tons and tons of these fishing boats. Started saying that there's these large vessels that nobody could hail, and the Coast Guard was following it. And we everybody saw this giant vessel that nobody could identify, in the Coast Guard and these massive surveillance Army planes or Air Force planes or possibly naval planes were following around. And it kind of hit me, because for weeks and weeks we've been hearing in the news how there's been Vlad naval presence in the area. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks that was them, and it was a surveillance vessel. So they confirmed that they had spot with single surveillance vessel and possibly submersible vehicles as well. And that's, dude, we're talking like 10 miles off the coast of Maui and Big Island.
So I'm sorry, did you guys, you or somebody actually saw this with your own eyes?
Yeah, no, it was us. It was me, my brother, my cousin, my dad. We all go fishing a couple times a week, and we all went out to that buoy, that very, very north buoy, and we saw it ourselves. And it was a massive boat that looked like it had a military build, but it was not a United States vessel. I'm familiar with U.S. vessels. Around here, you see them all the time. You'll see, the strategic strike groups, the rear strike groups. You'll see all kinds of reconnaissance vessels. That big golf ball I called about a couple of years, maybe 3 years ago. Remember, I called about that golf ball 4 years ago. It's, there's all kinds of cool stuff, but this looked different. It was obviously different. And when we got back to shore and everybody was talking about it, and even boats over radio was where everybody was discussing it. We got back, and it turns out that it had been officially spotted as a Vlad naval vessel, and they identified one ship. I forgot what the name of that vessel was, but there was at least 3 or 4 other vessels that were in the area, and it was gnarly, dude. It was the first time I've ever seen any other military's vessels in my life. I've never seen any of that, so it was imposing, to say the least.
So would you say, so you say it's surveillance, so it's kind of a military style, but it's not, you don't see cannons on it. Basically, it's a huge Russian surveillance kind of sea vessel, or did you see weapons on it?
No, there wasn't any weapons that we could spot. Everything that we saw on it was communications or navigations. We didn't see anything on it. Like, there's the 40 millimeter, 30 millimeter. There's all these anti-aircraft, and then there's a massive amount of armaments on everything else that we see. When they go by, we're like, oh, cool, look at that. Whatever the ship is. But with this, we couldn't see any offensive measures. But it was freaky, because you don't hear often when we're out here in Hawaii. But who we worry about all the time is those red guys over to our east. And so we see something like this is the very first thing that a lot of the I'm a vet, but I'm one of the younger vets, and the first thing that the older vets, because they stay in communication, they're much more intelligent than us young folk. But they started, putting together some ideas of maybe these for Vlad's vessels were coming out here doing surveillance for pre-operations. Here in Hawaii, not only 60 years ago, I think was 70 years ago, another nation in the Pacific used surveillance. And then shortly after, it was one of the largest attacks on American soil. So to see a rather large, for the very first time historically, and another country's surveillance vessels here so close to the Hawaiian coast is crazy. I mean, the last time this happened, that was so close and was such a large group, that was spotted and verified, told to the public, was Japan.
And then Pearl Harbor.
And we all know what happened after that.
Yeah, Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know what? I'm not sure, because there's a lot of story behind that. That FF, that we knew about it, we just allowed it to happen. There's another side that thinks that we completely engineered it. However you think about it, what I started thinking about is, would the public would have even known about these vessels being there if it wasn't for the amount of fishermen and how close to the coast that these Vlad vessels got?
Yeah. Now, as you heard yourself. All right. What's going on? All right. Now that was, I guess it's been a few weeks or so ago when this took place. All right. But the thing is, do you think you're going to hear that on the world news? Oh no, they're too busy with all this other crap. The woke thing, the what's that stuff that they're carrying on about now is the abortion thing, anti-abortion, a pro-abortion thing. I mean, that's all they're focusing on. And you can see and understand that obviously right? That as long as everyone is carrying on and acting this way, this country in a war, we get another country. Well, it won't be just one country; it'll be more than one that attacks America. And then when they do, they're going to whoop our butts. Why? Because everyone is all divided, too busy focused on crap. And the thing is, and then some of them are even getting in the military. And that's sad. They're allowing crazy people who ain't got a lick of sense. Go, I don't want my feelings hurt. Oh, I want the sergeant, to be, talk to me sweetly, and and tell me how good I look and how good I am, what a good boy or girl I am, and all this, and call me by my pronouns. They, them, he, she, it. Bunch of dang fools. Now, it's from that same news, that Marfoogle news, okay? What I want you to listen to is, now there's a caller calls in, and he is a former Marine. All right. And you got to listen to this. All right.
La Crosse, they were coming, some of them were coming from Minnesota. So they were a mixture of the desert camouflage and also green camouflage. So I'm thinking that they were like National Guard units that were heading somewhere, probably east.
You can prevent that by having a VPN. Nord is, again, one of the...
Last week of April, excuse me. And when I was coming back, I was on Interstate 90. And from the Illinois-Wisconsin border all the way up by Toma and La Crosse, there was a good-sized military convoy, and they're all heading the same direction. I'm figuring anywhere from 200 to 300 vehicles. And even after I crossed into Minnesota, there was more vehicles coming from Minnesota heading the same direction. And they were all logistics vehicles, not tanks or anything, but logistics vehicle, like your Hummers with a water buffalo in the back, and your vehicles all logistics vehicles, like the military version of a semi with a flatbed. This is the kind of vehicles that we were running, and they're all heading south. And that, I thought maybe an exercise is going on in McCoy or Douglas, that's up by Toma, but no. Now, these vehicles were actually going through La Crosse, some of them were coming from Minnesota. So, and they weren't all green. They were a mixture of the desert camouflage, which is the tan that you have up right now, and also green camouflage, like the standard. So I'm thinking that they were basically like National Guard units that were heading somewhere, probably east. Because I-90 turns when you get down by Chicago and you head towards the East Coast on I-90, if that was their path.
So, and by the way, did you see all of the people that sent in videos of the generators being moved around? Specifically, we have now multiple people from around the country showing us these huge convoys, and it's not the same freeways either. They're moving around generators and logistical things like these mobile tents that were on huge wide load things. They're moving around specialty gear. That's pretty much what I can say to the East Coast. Why would they be moving around that? Go ahead.
They have been building up the East Coast for a while, even the military flights. I've been watching Monkey Works, which he's former military himself, I believe Air Force. He has noticed heavy lifts running the East Coast, and most of your intelligence planes, your P-8s, your P-6s, certain planes, your what's it, R-130s or whatever they're called, all the Intel planes have been pushing hard on the East Coast.
I just want to say, now, mind you, now this is going on in this country. All right, what this man's talking about, what they're talking about here, is in this country.
Basically, from the edge of Canada down to Florida, the edge of Florida, and they've been running hard. So I don't know if there's possibly a threat on the coastline that they know about, but who knows?
So
the other thing I've noticed is when we talked a while back ago about the ships being loaded in San Diego, and you had pictures of those ones. I forget the name of the ship. That ship actually landed and got unloaded in the Netherlands. I've caught video of it and seen the equipment coming off of it. So that ship that came out of San Diego is now over in Europe.
So, and I want to remind people what you are talking about, because Bob called in before. Bob is he's former military, and I guess you're always military. So, but he basically said, hey, when you look out, this is before all of this started. This is before February 24th, and it was a few days before, and we said we think something's about to go down. Because the U.S. is deploying. They deployed all of their carriers fully loaded. There were satellite images, fully loaded with planes. Everybody was being deployed. The Fugel family, anybody who knew somebody was in the military, they were deploying. And we were like, what the hell is about to happen here? There were shots of these boats getting loaded. Bob actually called in and gave us all the information. He was able to decipher all of the codes that were on the different vehicles. Told us, this means this is part of this squad, this part and everything else. And he said, you really got to worry. And before this, he called and said, you really got to worry when they start loading these kinds of boats up. And they were the logistical boats that held all the supplies. And basically this certain kind of boat, when those go out, those can actually support an offensive for so many days. For instance, a boat this size loaded to the brim could support an offensive for 30 days straight. And those boats were what were being loaded. And then, of course, right after that is when all this started happening. So Bob is now saying that the logistics, the same kind of things, but on land, are now being pushed around the United States, which in my mind, verifies a lot of the stuff that I've been saying. And from all of the information from the Fugel fam, they're loading up the East Coast. They are moving things all around. And this is way more than just like kind of drills being done or moving it from base to base. These are, 50, 60, 70-mile long convoys of all the same things. They're moving around generators, checkpoints, all sorts of things. What the hell is happening? But of course.
Now, if you want to watch the rest of this and everything and check out the other videos and footages that they have, go to Mark Fugel News here on YouTube. And I just wanted to show everyone this. I mean, I could show tons of things, but the thing is, I don't listen to every single thing, because a lot of it's just fake stuff or stuff that maybe might be true, might not be true, and this and that, But the whole point, this country is divided. I mean, that's obvious. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Even a blind person can see it. All right. The question is, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to continue to fight and bicker and carry on over stupid stuff like he, she, they, them, and all this, and do boo-hoo because we didn't get the right to kill our babies because it's our bodies, we want to kill them? This country is fixing to face something it has never faced before. The history repeats itself. Remember Pearl Harbor? Huh? Now look what you got off of the coast of Hawaii. 10 miles off of the coast of Hawaii. And they'll tell them where else around off of the coast of the U.S. Right? So, with all this going on and everything, someone who honestly sits there and thinks that this country can whoop another country like Russia and China and North Korea and whoever else wants to join the bandwagon, if the country was united, truly united, yeah, we could put up a pretty darn good fight. Make them want to go home and cry mama. But that ain't going to happen. Why? Right now? Are you kidding me? You see all the communists that we got in this country? The idiots? The people that don't even have their full faculties? And they're even allowing some of these kind of fools, these woke type people in the military. And then some of the military, some of these guys in there are smoking their crack and everything else and stuff, and this is what's supposed to be protecting this country. No, not all the military is that way. You got some pretty good tough hombres in there, right? They got all their faculties, but now they allowing anything and everybody in. Now they have the drill sergeants have to sit there and consider their feelings. Gotta pamper. This country ain't gonna stand, and that's it just won't. It's gonna fall. We have already seen the beginning of it, and that's without even a foreign enemy whooping our butts. We're sitting there tearing each other apart. All right, first of all, you have to understand one thing about me. I don't consider myself a Republican nor Democrat or independent or whatever. I just consider myself a person that, cares about this land that we're on, that we live in. I care about people. I care, about freedom. I care about what is right. I care about whoever is in the government. All right, if they are doing their job and doing it correctly, I am for that. I'm not for this crap that's going on now. It's just stupid. And so here we are. We're in this big old predicament. And who knows if anyone's even going to get a report once the enemy starts to attack this country. I'm kind of wondering if you're going to even hear about that until they have already landed and everything and all that. But it's kind of like that's a bridge under the water at that point, because they're done here. That would mean they would be done here, and that's it. Yeah, there'd be skirmishes from those who truly love this country, who love freedom, and who have heart and honor and integrity, but it won't last because everyone's divided. And you got some of them that would usher in these people. Come on, we'll help you, thinking that they're going to get it on easy street. These people get up, the China or Russia's, can whoop them and set up their own thing here. These people would be turning in everybody, thinking they're going to get it on easy street, and they don't realize that those countries will kill them once they got everything established. Those will be the first ones they will kill and imprison or whatever. But the thing is, the question really is, how much do you love this country? And I hope people will share this out, okay? Because this country, if people loved it like they say they do, they will stand together, not divided. And if we stand together, united, we can defeat all obstacles, especially any foreign invaders or whatever. You know, it was amazing back at 9/11 when that took place. Oh, then people wanted to come together. Sure did. But and then you had them wanting to start thinking about going to church. Started thinking about their spiritual condition, the condition of their hearts. But it wasn't too long after they went right back to being their same old selves, if not worse. I would say worse, considering what we're seeing now. It's like they forgot about 9/11, but only on those Memorial Days, those where they'll do the little thing where they remember the fallen, and then the next day after that, that's no, they don't remember it. So what are we going to do? Now, I have a link right here, and if someone wants to come up and share their own thoughts, well, you can agree with me, disagree with me, maybe somewhere in between or whatever, that's okay. The thing is, I don't care about, what one's own personal opinion is, even when it's different than mine. And when I mean I don't care, I'm talking about I don't care as in making it an issue. Well, you don't listen here. No, you're wrong. No, we're all entitled, to our opinions and thoughts and views, our way of looking at things. But the thing is, this country, and this is a fact, no matter what our opinions are, it is a fact that as long as we are divided, this country can't stand. It'll collapse. We've already, how would you say, we're already seeing the first stages of the total collapse of this country. The country that you and I knew when we were kids, those of us who are older, we see it. We see it. We see what's going on. It can't stand. And it won't. I mean, and now I can be wrong on this one thing. Now, what I'm fixing to say is my opinion, my thoughts. Don't mean that I'm necessarily right, but my thoughts is that with the administration that we got on this country, as it is right now, I'm thinking, I'm seeing stuff. I mean, what I see personally and what I'm hearing, it seems to me like this little war with Russia is being orchestrated by this administration. They want this war, and they want it to come here. And that's why they keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Because think of it like this. As long as they can remain in power, they can finish destroying it and trying to redo it the way they want. Right? Okay. Mind you that during a war, like say if this country is attacked, right? Attacked. God dang it. If this country is attacked, and the war is on here, all right, then No election. No. They can maintain all that as long as they want until whenever whatever agenda they have is fulfilled. I mean, that is my thought, my view of what I see and what I hear. I might be wrong, I might be right, or somewhere in between, somewhere on it. But I mean, that's what I see. But one thing that is for sure, whether they're orchestrating it or not, war is coming to this country. So understand that unless we're united, how can we stand? You know, it is no longer the United States of America. It is the divided states of America. And this stuff goes on and on. And nobody, you know, you don't hear a lot of them out there saying about what we should be doing for the better good of everyone, right? What you're hearing is a bunch of crap. People want to focus on crap, trivial things, even. You know, they want to focus on stuff that's really non-sequential, you know. I mean, so there you go. This is what we got. This is what's going on. So, what are we going to do? Are we going to just talk about what needs to be done and what should be done, or are we going to do something? We're going to act upon it. All right, let me ask you, what is a militia? How many of you know what a militia is for? Why do we um, have a militia? Why did this country, when they first formed this country, why did they ever have a militia? All right, and with all the criminal activity that's been going on, with these riots and these criminal acts, violent stuff, and our police force and military are not doing nothing, allowing these criminals to pull this crap. Where is the militia? See, when a government is failing to do their job and they become more of a tyrant and they start forcing their crap on you, that's, you know, and kind of like a dictatorship or whatever. But my point is that a militia is supposed to stand up to prevent this, to fight that, and such things as what we got going on now. So my question is, where is the militia? Why don't they get up and arrest those ones who are in the legislature that are committing acts of treason? Treason, mind you, acts and encouraging acts of criminal activity of violence towards others, and on and on and on, because these people can't get what they want, so you throw a tantrum and do it violently. We've all seen children, you know, that's been spoiled, and when they can't get something that they want, when they want it, and how they want it, well, they just start throwing a temper tantrum until they can get what they want. And 9 times out of 10, usually the ones who spoiled their kids and made them that way will give in to them just so that they will shut up. And we got, well, supposed to be adults, but they're little spoiled kids, basically, acting like a bunch of idiots, fools. You know, it's like, man, I tell you what, you know, those who remembers the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, you know, the 70s and 80s. You know, I mean, they all know how, I mean, this country was a lot different than it is now, of course. And we can see that what everyone is calling them leftists is nothing but communism in its purest form. And they're pushing this crap. That's why I encourage you to here on YouTube to do your search on YouTube for the audio book, The Communist Manifesto. Listen to it, okay? And I guarantee you, when you hear, or if you can buy the book itself and read it, you'll get sick to your stomach because you'll sit there and see what's being encouraged and everything. The way the thinking of the communists and socialists, right? You can sit there and see that going on now. And if you think about it, that book almost reads like something that was written just recently. Question is, I mean, since the damage is done in this country, what are we going to do to fix it? The only way it can be ever fixed is if the ones who are causing this problem and who have encouraged it, the ones who are doing acts of treason, are removed. And all these people that have committed these criminal acts are imprisoned, locked up. And then start working with each other. And we start working with each other and learn to respect people's differences and not to be enforcing our own opinions and thoughts on others. This country can stand. That's the only way I see that the repair can begin to work and fix the problem. But really, what are we going to do? Huh? What are we going to do? I know I got one viewer here. You don't have to, but if you want, you can hit that link. You can come up here on the panel, share your thoughts and views. Because I mean, I'm not going to be on here very much longer, but you can feel free. Anyone can. But anyway, I just see that there is just nothing but a division, a bunch of crap going on, and it's time we do something. And before I go on, I just wanted to add in there, because this is, relatively a new channel, and to help it grow, I mean, hit the like button and subscribe. That would be a great help, but and always be sure to comment, okay? Don't be afraid to comment, to share your thoughts and views. But hey, Ocio, David, how's it going? How is it going, my brother? How is it going? I had some crazy stuff. Let's see. Today, Thursday night, Friday morning. It's I guess you would say somewhere in there. Oh, that's good to hear, bro. That's good. Had some. At first, I thought it was knocking on the wall. Well, it kind of. I wasn't for sure because I don't hear good out of my right ear. I can hear out of it, not good. But out of my left ear, I can hear. And here on the left of me, where is a side door that goes out. So, anyway, my dog is right over here in her kennel, Sassy Dakota. And she was hearing, she was getting up. She was the first one to start hearing it. And that's what drew my attention, because I thought it was the birds over at first in the cage and knocking something around. But I got to listening and I got up and went over, and it was like, the sounded like the way a person takes a stone and then tosses it at something, at wood, right? At first, I thought it was coming from underneath the house. Now, sometimes we get possums and stuff getting in there, but I put my ear down there and it wasn't coming from there. It was coming outside next to the door, hitting the wall. And I, I stomped my foot, and I hollered. I said, "All right, that'll be enough of that." Well, next thing you know, it stopped for a few seconds, just a few seconds, and then it continued on. But this time it went from the tossing to throwing. And these weren't, at first, you figure it was small stones, but they picked up some big ones and throwing them. And so I yelled out and I sit there and I said, "All right." I said, "That did it. I am going to get my gun and I am going to shoot somebody. You better hope that you're not out there when I open that door and come out, because and thing was, I tried to find my gun. I couldn't find it, so I grabbed the ball bat and the flashlight and I go out there, nothing. I mean, now around over here close to this cabin, it's real rocky and you got a lot of rocks there. And if someone went to running, you would hear it. If you're right up by the wall or by that door, I mean, if they ran, you'd hear it. But I didn't hear nothing like that. So I figured they were still out there. So I was going to get them. And no, there wasn't nothing, bro. There was nothing out there, David. Not one thing, bro. And I checked all around out there. Nothing. Because everyone else is in bed asleep. See, tonight I found my gun, and anyway, I'll tell you one thing now. I'm thinking, now that it has to be only one of three things, right? Either it's a spirit, right? Or it's one of the hairy ones, Sasquatch, or it's one of the little people. But whichever, now if it's Sasquatch, I mean, I figured the dog would have been barking, though. That's the thing, though. That's weird, because the dog outside in the pen out there, Pete, that's the dog's name, Pete, he wasn't barking, growling or nothing. He was in his doghouse. So, but I look at it this way. If it was a Bigfoot, and if he ever comes back and does that again, I'm not going to shoot him. I will shoot up in the air and yell at him, tell him to get going. That'll be enough. But see, if it's not, well, ain't a whole lot I can sit there and do with, as far with a gun or a ball bat or anything against a mischievous little person, or, and I say little person, I mean the fae folk, or against a spirit. A ball bat or a gun or knife ain't going to help you. Wow. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Yeah, I'm gonna be sure to be see about what I can do about it, because that kind of thing there, bro. It's not welcome here. And I'm not scared of those type things, right? I mean, they don't scare me. Actually, they just make me get me upset and irritated, get under my skin because I don't like them, and I get sick of their crap, And see, a lot of people, they want to poo-poo off the paranormal, or even Bigfoot, or the little people, and what have you, I mean, but thing is, it's real now, and I got a hen missing. Uh, where did I put that? It's somewhere over here. Um, well, I'll find it later. Hold on. No, it's not up there. Um, earlier, I it was earlier this morning. Me and my brother had to tend to Wendigo. That's my rooster. And see, he spurred me. He got me twice. About a week or so ago, he got me. He just kind of nicked me a little. And then just a few days ago, or let's see, 2 days ago, maybe three. But anyway, um, he spurred me, and he got me good. He brought the blood. Now I'll tell you one thing. I was ready to kill that boy. I was gonna dispatch him and put him in a pot. But I'm one of those. Yeah, they do hurt, bro. I'll tell you that they really hurt, and uh, I got a video that I'll have to post tomorrow on my other channel, War Horse Experience channel. All right, where I will show the spurs. I removed his spurs. I didn't cut them off. I just took the pliers and removed them off, and I sprayed them down. I got to spray his nubs down again. Uh, but anyway, because he was hurting the one hen, and so I got two hens and then him, right? And the one, her name's Mika, and Mika, I mean, she was losing her feathers and stuff around, because that's his favorite, you know. He doing the mambo jumbo or mambo wombo, old mama jumping, and all that. Uh, anyway, she was losing her feathers from it. So I figured, well, all right, I removed the spurs, I ain't gonna have to worry about him spurring me again like that. Don't mean he won't try to again. He just can't be able to successfully do so. But anyway, my brother helped me remove the spurs off of Wendigo, and I did a little video. Couldn't show the actual thing because I couldn't hold the camera and do all that stuff too, and there was no place to put the camera at the time, so it's kind of after the fact. But I show the spurs on. You see, when you see the video when I post it, you'll understand why it hurt. Cause I mean, and I'm not gonna let it get like that again. No. So that's my fault too. But anyway, now Mika, I needed to spray her down because she had some areas where her feathers, on her, you could see her skin and everything. So I had to spray her down. And my brother had to help me there. She was putting up a big fight over that. But anyway, then later on, my mother saw and she told me about it that the other two, the rooster, Wendigo, and Black Betty, the other hen, was sitting there taking it out on her and stuff. And but always when she hears me calling and me rattling the container with the feed, she comes a running. They all do, but she didn't. And well, eventually, ended up locking up the other two, but kept calling. And when it got dark, well, it got to a point where I thought, all right, I'll be wait a little bit here, and then I'm gonna get out there and look for it. And after, of course, I was on Billy's live, and everything. And when I got off, I took my gun and the flashlight, went out there looking, because we got coyotes running around here from time to time. But I mean, there was no signs of her or feathers. There's always some telltale sign when an animal, like a coyote or something, attacks a chicken or whatever. I mean, there's signs of it. You got feathers around it. There's no sign. So, I'm hoping she's okay. And I'm hoping no Bigfoot took her, and I'm hoping no other critter took her or nothing. Uh, so I'm kind of hoping there, but I got 6 hen eggs that I am currently now trying to incubate. So I'm hoping that is successful because I need something to replace the other hens that I've already lost due to stupid possums. Oh yeah. And the thing about possums, they're weird. They will kill a chicken, but they won't eat the chicken. They'll remove the head and eat the crop, and that's it. They leave everything else intact, more or less. Just feathers a little scattered here and there, and that's it. And I'll tell you one thing. I never did catch that possum, but if I ever do, I know one possum that's going to be in a stew. Now a lot of people, don't like the idea of, eating possum. I can guarantee you, if I cooked up some possum and didn't tell anybody what it was, and carved it up after cooking it and served it, and everything, I guarantee you that person would eat it and love every bit of it till you tell them, then it'll be, oh. Well, it's kind of like, never mind that they enjoyed it. I mean, yeah. And when the crapper hits the fan, people ain't going to be thinking twice about eating a possum or a raccoon. But the problem is these people don't know that there's a certain way to do all that with a possum because they got scent glands. And if you're not careful, you get, yeah, you know what I mean? It can taint the meat and that'd be nasty tasting stuff then. But you do it right, it's pretty good. Same thing with deer. They have scent glands and what have you. And even with hogs, people don't understand there are scent glands. There's a certain way you got to do to prepare them. And I would suggest that if anyone don't know how to, there's plenty of videos here on YouTube to show you how. So all you got to do is look for it. It's good just to, even if you might not even be going to cook a possum, but in the chance that's all there is, and there's one there, and you're needing food for you and your family, well, you're going to do what you got to do. But the thing is, you need to know how to do it. There's certain ways to do it. Yeah. And even eating crow. I'll tell you one thing. You're anyone who don't know about crow, well, I mean, you can have meat that's tough and still tastes good, but yeah, crow can be kind of tough. And there's a little trick to tenderizing them and such, where it's not tough. And also snake. Well, I wouldn't do water moccasins or any of them like that because their meat tends to be a little tough and all that. But like you got rattlesnake and copperheads, but don't get the little ones. But you get the big ones that got meat on them, and you cook them up. It really does taste like chicken. No lie, it really does. Very good. But the thing is, you got to do what you got to do when it comes to a do or die survival situation type thing. Either starve or live. Eat and live, or starve and die. I mean, the choice is only simple. But when especially you got the family, you got to think about what's good for them and yourself. Like in a crapper hit the fan situation, I mean, you want to have, there's other in your little party, maybe they're your aunts, your uncles and cousins, maybe your neighbors or your closest friends or whatever. You want to think about them too. So now that's like, I want to have more chickens, and I'm thinking about quail. And I'm thinking about, doing my own, growing my own feed around out here, uh, so I can have something to, feed them like for in the winter. Now, the uh, chicken, free range, uh, around here, but when it comes around the winter, I mean, ain't much they can get. The pickings is pretty slim during the winter, so that's why you want to have some kind of grains and stuff to feed them. So I'm planning on trying to grow some around out here so they can always have some food, feed them. I want to have eggs, and if I ever have to, uh, I don't like the idea of it, but in a do or die situation, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Uh, Use some of them for meat. And that goes for chickens, quails, or whatever, right? But yeah, I'm planning on doing that. But I'm wanting to, once I have a little bit more money, if the crap don't hit the fan before then, I'm planning on getting some more chickens. Not a bunch, I don't want to be overwhelmed with them. I'm not. This ain't a big chicken farm or a quail farm, but I just want enough where I know that I can keep it balanced. They can have meat and eggs, and just keep it balanced out, not be overwhelmed. So I can have enough to feed the chickens and take care of them and all this. But I won't uh, I won't slaughter an animal needlessly. I'm totally against that. I don't believe a person should go out hunting just because they want trophies and just because, you know, it should be because of this, that the need is great for meat. They need meat. And when they do, don't waste it. And if there's more than you got more than enough for yourself or your family, and there's extra there, then give that extra to whoever else is needing it. See, nothing gets wasted. And even the bones come in handy for tools. And also, you believe it or not, they also can be easily traded. In a crapper hit the fan situation, there will be bartering. I tell people, say, keep those packets of seed and buy them more, you know, and whatever. Any seeds that you can get, keep them, and you can trade them because that's valuable. That's good as gold right there. But I will tell people this, remind everyone if they're wanting to invest in gold. All right, now that's a twofold thing here. All right, that's a good thing, and I understand it, and it is good. However, there's also a downside to that. Now, remember back a long time ago in history, back like during the Great Depression, and then people were wanting, you know, stock on gold and all that, right? And so they invested in their gold, and so they were hoarding it, but, you know, hiding their gold, keeping it, which only made sense. But the government put a stop to it. So what do you think is going to happen this time? History will repeat itself. The government will do that. You try to invest in gold, and they'll stop it. That's the government for you, you know. That's the way to go, bro. Yeah. See, and I think a lot of people, if they don't know how, they need to learn it. They need to learn because crap's coming, and it's going to hit the fan. Now, I can't tell anybody for certain it's going to be tomorrow or next week or next month, but it will come. And I ain't, you know, no prophet. I mean, that's common sense, you know, and I know what to listen for, look for as I'm, you know, researching and checking things over. You know, I don't want to be caught with the pants down, so to speak, because, you know, that's a problem. A lot of people is going to be caught with their pants down. And it's going to come upon them unaware. You know, they're not going to even know what hit them until it hits. You know, and they got to understand it. The threat is very real. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not a just something that people just over imagine in their heads or whatever. It is a fact. It's going on. And with, you know, and you got North Korea just, oh boy, let me at them. Oh, I'm hoping it, yeah, we can get Russia and China in there. I'm getting in there right now, and I'm gonna, ooh yeah, and they will attack Japan and North Korea. Oh yeah, they'll attack Japan and they will attack us, but they won't be alone. That's the problem. I mean, you got China and Russia. And then there's other countries you can throw in there too that don't like this country, and they'll be itching for that opportunity. And they'll join the bandwagon so they can get in on it. Because see, Russia owns quite a bit of land here in this country. So doesn't China. And truth be told, probably old Mr. Doughboy over there in North Korea. And you got some of the Saudis, and some of them own land over here. You know, somebody been busy selling property around here to these people. And the thing was, they more ended up was like giving it to them. Most of it was the government doing it. And a lot of that land that they saw was native land. Yeah, and see, and a lot of the natives, there's some that know, but a lot of them don't know. They don't realize it. You know, it's like, and it was done by the very ones that they were supporting, like Obama. Shoot, that guy didn't care nothing except for his own self. Oh yeah, you're right, bro. Absolutely. And I wish all these people could see this. And I'm hoping that, you know, people will share this video, let it get out. You know, I don't have a big voice like a lot of those big YouTubers, but hey, a few people warned and understand the reality of things is that's that much more, maybe a few, but a little bit more that will do something to save themselves and their family to be prepared. And there's all kinds of videos here shows a person how to prepare. I got a playlist on this channel. I got quite a bit of playlists here, but check them all out. Um, there's things that I already know, but I got that playlist up for those who don't know, and stuff that people would find interesting and such. Because those of us who have common sense, who have eyes, and we have ears, we see and hear what's going on. And yet people, I don't know. It's like they're in some kind of fantasy world or something. I don't know. It's like they're oblivious to what's going on. You're right. Oh yeah, and some of the stuff that they got, man, they could really get us good. Really get us good. And the thing is, it wouldn't take a whole lot for them. Heck, even if it was just China, just for example, if it was even just China itself to attack us, they'd beat us, because this whole country is totally divided. And then you got idiots that they're now putting into the military. They get hyped up on drugs, and you got them too concerned about their feelings, focused on themselves, and now they're into this. Don't call me she or he, Sergeant. I'm them or they. I'm gender fluid. Okay. I tell you what, if this was back about 40, 50 years ago, they would have pulled that crap in the military. I tell you what, they'd got their butts kicked left and right. They had to learn what respect is, what discipline is for. Oh no, now you don't discipline anybody. When they do something wrong, you just say, now, just don't let it happen again, okay? And nothing is done to the person when they're messing up, especially when their mess up could cause other people to lose their lives. And look at the crap they're teaching in the schools. And the kids, are little babies, and these idiots. And these are people to be teachers, and they're confusing the kids about what proper pronouns are. So with all this crap going on, ain't no way this country can stand against foreign invaders. Oh, I know that there'd be a fight. The invaders would get a fight, but it wouldn't last too long. Because half of these idiots over here would say, let's surrender. And then, hey, maybe, we can get in good. We turn in other people, and point out the traitors and all that. We'll point to them. And we can get to live in a la-la land and be happy and sing kumbaya. I got news for them. Those people, when those foreign countries invade, those people that in turn and betray others just so they can have it good, they don't know what's going to happen to them. They're going to die, because those foreign countries won't have no use for it. They don't allow it in their country, and they sure ain't, if they want to take over this country, they sure won't have that going on and put a stop to it real quick. But but the thing is, since they're for communism, so they don't even really know what communism themselves are, but they sure follow the book, because they know someone else is doing it. They got to do it themselves, copy them, and they don't even know what's going on. But I think that those people who don't like this country that live here, they need to move out to a country, whichever one that would have them, and just go there. Because obviously those people don't care about freedom. They have no honor. They have no integrity. They have no dignity. They have no self-respect. And they don't respect others except just themselves. So this country can't stand because it's divided. But if it becomes united, then this country would be really a country that any foreign enemy would be afraid to touch. Just look at what we got in there now in the administration, those who's supposed to be our leaders. It's pretty bad. It's real bad, bro, all the way around. It is just messed up. And I still got a hole in my leg. I thought it was a tick, but it's a scab but it's a scab, scabbed up. But where that rooster got me, it was a good thing I had my pants on, but it still got me right, got me good. Oh yeah, that boy. But anyway, I see all this stuff going on, and I get concerned because there's so many out here uh, in this country that does not realize there is stuff going on that they don't know about, and it's coming, and they need to learn to stand and become united and get rid of stop this crap that they're doing. And I wish the militia would step in and take care of these criminals that's running amok, because the criminals that's in the treasonous criminals that's in the administration, that's encouraging them, inciting them to commit acts of violence and evil. And this is all you hear on the news because they're all focused on it and they're encouraging, and nobody's seeing what's going on behind the stage. They're not seeing what's unfolding. People's got to wake up and just put this stuff aside. And militia needs to step in and get rid of these criminals. Have them, arrest them, lock them up, and go over there, and those who are the criminals in the government up there, they need to have them arrested and tried, have a trial to try them for acts of treason, because they are treasonous of what they have done, and they are criminals. They incite criminal activity, and all those people that supposedly protest, and it's not protesting, it's rioting, and they're threatening people's lives and threatening acts against someone else's children and all this, because they can't legally they're thinking, well, I don't have my freedom to kill my babies if I get pregnant because I can't keep my pants on. And they get upset, so they be, I'm gonna kill and hurt somebody else. I'll threaten them. They're gonna do what we want. That's extortion and everything else you could add in on there. I mean, and then they're uh, burning and breaking things up, and yeah, it's an evil world we live in, and this country. You know, these people, they're sitting there and they got the audacity to point at Republicans and call them criminal. And the whole time, these are the ones these people that's doing all this stuff they're committing the acts of crime, and they're wanting to, and they just can't. They're just not happy with just attacking a few people. They want to go after everyone, and even the dumb little fuzzy-minded person, Sleepy Joe, wants to and call anyone who loves freedom uh, a threat. Yeah. In other words, bro, that me and you and everyone else that care about what is good and decent in this world, we're a threat. You know, because we're not going along with them. We don't give in to their whims when they decide that they're going to do something. We don't say, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And these very ones, bro, as you well put it right now, the thing is, the very ones are saying, you know, they're doing peaceful protesting. See, these people, all right, they don't only not know whether what their gender specifically is, they don't even know what proper pronoun they are. Okay, but they don't even know what words mean. They don't know what freedom means. They don't even know what peace means. And you're going to hear some of these, the very ones, get out and sing John Lennon's song, Give Peace a Chance. No. Oh, that's not peace at all. They can call it what they want, and that's not peace. That's violence. That is nothing but violence. And these people are pulling this crap. But I can tell you right now, you know, is that these people's going to have a rude awakening, and it's not going to. The awakening is going to come from outside this country, coming to this country, and they ain't bringing no uh, peace signs and rainbow flags and all that. No, they're not going to be doing that. They're going to come to take over, and their intent is to clean house, and it's not going to be pretty. But yet here we got people, you know, more or less, whether they know it or not, helping these foreign countries by killing off their fellow brother or sister. I ain't figured out how do these people even get it this far in life. How did they even make it to adulthood? I mean, they're just insane. Kind of wondering if that vaccination thing have uh, made these nuts crazier. Uh, it makes you wonder. But man, it's pretty bad. I mean, and I hope some of those nuts listen to this, and I hope it makes them mad because truth will hurt. But yet, oh, have mercy on anyone who actually speaks absolute truth because they consider that a threat to them, the threat to their way of thinking. You know, but anyone who's got genuine honor and integrity and dignity, love for others, love for life, all the people that are in that category of truth, honor, dignity, a love of life and everything, respect. Anyone with those qualities is a threat to those nuts. And they are. I believe in calling it the way it is, the way I see it. I mean, especially when it's right there in front of my face, All right, if a person stripped their clothes off and took off running, I mean, there's a streaker. It's what they are. A nut, too. Well, if I see an apple tree and I go over there to see if there's a good apple on it and it's all rotten fruit, I'm going to say that tree ain't no good. It ain't got nothing but rotten fruit. Well, I see there's a lot of rotten ones out there running rampant out there, committing all kinds of crime. And yet, are they locked up? No. And those who have been inciting it, those who are in office who have incited that, why are they not being arrested? Because everything that they have been doing, especially towards the Supreme Court justices, because the justices are not going along with their crap. Well, they want to incite violence and doing criminal stuff, and things against them, and showing, encouraging, getting the address of these justices, where they live and all that, and then plus the churches, as you pointed out. See, militia need to be stepping up and protecting, because the National Guard ain't, all right, and the police ain't, because it just ain't enough police to do it. Thanks to those idiots that have been going out there on defund the police. But yeah, you get them yahoos in dire need of a situation, and guess what? They'll be wanting the police. And when no police comes and they go to complain, someone should just tell them, hey, remember, you didn't like the police. You wanted to defund them. You wanted to get rid of the police. Well, hello. It's your problem. Live with it. Yeah. So, I mean, people don't see what's going on because they're too busy involved with this crap that they're doing. And all these, like NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, and MNC, you know which one all them, they're and all these, there's a bunch more you can throw in there. They're all focusing on these bunch and their crap, and not on what's actually happening, the threat that is going to happen to this country. And I doubt very seriously that they're going to, how would you say that, if the enemy was launching missiles over here, I really don't think, I can be wrong, but I really don't think a lot of people is going to even know that that's going to be happening. Because the news people are not going to report it, not the mainstream news media like your world news. They're not going to do it because they're too busy focusing on this other crap, and they keep focusing on it while when the missiles start striking and what have you. Oh, that's good, bro. They need to. You're right. They, with all of the stuff that's going on, that's what they need to be doing. And And those governors or mayors or whoever, those people that wanted to defund the police, someone should tell those people that wanted all that stuff done. If you're gonna be idiots, then go to the ones who started the crap. Let them get a taste of it. Of course, some of them already had, and then they went, "Oh, where's the police?" You know, maybe you wanted to go up to them and do a cartoon slap in the face, you know, and tell them, "Where have you been? Wake up, you idiot. Guess what? You're the idiot that got rid of them." Oh, yeah. But the thing is, see, these people think that you should, allow them to commit crime, and that, they can go in and steal from the stores, grab whatever they want without paying for it, burn things down, and just walk off and no consequences. And they don't realize what that totally makes them. A criminal is a criminal. Crime is wrong. Stealing is wrong. Burning down people's property and destroying it and hurting people and killing people, that's all a crime. That's evil. And I just wish these people could see it. Because, see, I'm not, and I don't ever claim to be one of these type people that is real good on doing a talk show host, where they talk so good. I mean, yeah, I kind of envy those guys, they can talk perfect, and everything. I am just me. I'm just an old fart. That's why it's called old fart talk. I'm just simple. That's all there is to it. And I just say what's on my mind and talk about things, and tell people about the way I see it or what I experienced or what, you know. And I do it in simple terms, simple ways, layman's terms. you know, I I am not a city-fied person. And for me, there'd be no way anyone can get me to live in a city. Because I once, a long time ago, I would lived in a city and it like about drove me nuts. I didn't want to have nothing to do with it. I didn't like it then. I had to at that time. And that was when my kids were little. But, oh man, no way. I mean, too many nuts, runs around in the city. I mean, always crime going on, shooting sirens and nosy neighbors and you got people always in your business, and you can't have this or you can't have that in your yard and all this. We find that offensive. We find you offensive. La 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 la. Man, well, heck with them. They're all a bunch of loons, those people like that. And I feel sorry for the good and decent folks that are having to live in a city. Because, man, I don't see how anyone can. I literally feel trapped like a rat in a trap. I mean, that's the way I feel in a city. Living in one, heck, I don't really care a lot for visiting a city. I mean, I'll go there, maybe do whatever, and then if I can get out of there quick, I'm happy. A city, I don't have a big love for a big city. Too much crap goes on. And you can't trust anybody in a big city. I mean, but the thing is, when the crapper hits the fan, those people that are living in the city, who's not prepared on doing what they have to do, to get out to survive, to live, they're not likely going to live unless they become aggressors and commit violence against others so that they can live. And that's what will happen in a big city. You know, people will first start going after pets, stealing from other people and all that. And when all that stuff's gone, then they'll start eating people. You know, it's just sick. People are crazy. And you could easily see these idiots that's doing all this stuff now you hear about it in the news. You could see them doing it. Yeah, they like, if you're an enemy, they'd be like those tribes that are cannibals overseas. They'd be exactly like them. They see their enemy and they'd kill them and eat them. And they practically see everyone as an enemy. You know, these yahoos that's here in this country that's carrying on like the way they've been. You know, I have one solution for those women that are carrying on that way. Just shut up, keep your pants on. You know, if you don't want to have children, take the measures you whatever to, so you don't have children. You got to get yourself fixed. And the guys need to get themselves fixed too. You know, they want to keep doing wham bam bam a lamb dance with the woman. Well, those men also need to get themselves fixed if they don't want to have children, because murder is wrong. And the way I see it, they're sacrificing those children, those unborn babies, to Molech. They're carrying the old ancient Babylonian and other pagan religions. They're kind of bringing it into the present to this day, where they're sacrificing to these strange and unknown gods, like Molech and what have you, and Baal, and on and on and on. I mean, yeah, they don't get it, and I got and you know they just want to carry on and be stupid. If they don't want children, hey, stop this fighting, stop bickering, stop committing acts of violence against people and against unborn children. Keep your pants on, or get yourself fixed and your man fixed, or whatever. But you have no right. You say, it's my body. Well, yeah, it's your body. You got rights to make a choice as you will. However, you don't have a right to take another's life. And when you have life inside of you, you ain't got the right to kill it. Oh, yeah, exactly. A lot of people don't see that there, bro, but it's true. That's very true. They just don't see it. They don't get it. I know people can disagree with me and you, but that's the way we see it. Hey, just say it like it is. It's the way we see it. Person don't have to agree with us, but that one thing, the truth is truth. And it's not like, well, that's your truth. No, truth is truth, absolutely. It's absolute truth. There's not a perception of truth. Truth is just truth. And then they got this thing that Biden wants, is this ministry of truth. It's a ministry of deception and hate and crime and whatever else you want to throw in there. There's no truth to their ministry of truth. As they would say it, oh, that's your truth. Well, slap them in the face with that, because they're idiots. You know, they're nuts. And, you know, it's just bad where you can't, it's getting to a place where, you know, people can't say what's on their mind, or speak their mind. You know, you can't even speak an absolute truth, because they don't want truth. They want the lie. So what is it the Book of Heaven says that they would believe the lie and be damned? That's the way it put it. I mean, that's just the way it is. And if you think about it, it's true. You can tell somebody a lie, they'll believe it. You tell them the truth, and they'll call you a liar. Talking about nuts. And they honestly think this country, the way it is right now, that it can stand. It ain't. It won't stand. I'm not a prophet. I ain't never going to complain. I'm never going to come out and tell people that I'm a prophet or that I'm a seer. I just see what's plainly there in front of me. I can hear it too. And I can make up my own mind from what I see and I hear. Just like anyone who knows how to look and listen, they can see it and hear it too. You know, if a person does that, you know, and that's just me. I believe I'm just saying it the way I see it. No, it don't always mean that I'm right and everything. I don't ever claim that I'm right all the time. Yeah. I mean, we are all known to make mistakes from time to time because we're human, but the thing is, we should never allow our mistakes to harm others, whether that's to harm them mentally or physically or spiritually harm or spiritual harm. You should never do anything and allow yourself to make a mistake in such a way that it will harm somebody. But thing is, we're human beings. We do make mistakes, but we need to learn from our mistakes so that we don't repeat them. That's like learn from history so that we don't repeat it. But guess what? We're like in a loop. And today we are repeating it left and right. I wish people would just wake up and smell the coffee. But if anyone who ends up watching this is involved in a militia, or maybe a commander, a leader of a militia, I could understand why you do not any longer show what you got and all this kind of stuff, because the way this, especially the government that we got now, the way they are. But let me ask you, leaders of these militia, where are you? Why are you not doing your job? We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Yeah, we have a big problem. If any, let me tell you in the militia, if you see these people come over and committing acts of violence, you know, or threaten to come, be prepared for them. Put a stop to it. Don't mean you gotta shoot anyone, but you got to do what you must to protect other people from someone who may kill someone. Who, you know, those who are protect others from these criminals and arrest them. Arrest those criminals. You know, because the police can only do so much. And the National Guard ain't going to get involved in it. There's other stuff going on and stuff. And so do what you got to do, but do your job. Because there, I'm just saying to you, those who are in the militia, yeah, exactly, exactly, bro. You got it. You got it. We have all kinds of stuff going on, and it shouldn't be, because America, we have a problem. And the problem it actually involves everybody, because everyone is getting involved, pulled into stuff that we don't even, and we're all getting pulled in this crap. We don't even want it. We don't want to have nothing to do with this crap, but we're getting pulled into it. But this should not be. This country has become a nightmare. It's become a insane asylum. And China, Russia, and all them, they laugh at us. And I have to admit that they have the right to. Because from their view and what they're seeing, a bunch of idiots, a bunch of clowns, you know, they're not afraid of this country anymore. They don't see this country as a threat to them. But mark my words, they're coming. And as I said before, I'm not a prophet, but that's just the way it is. I can see, I got eyes, I can see exactly what's going on. And I'm sure a lot of you that's watching, and some of you out there know what's going on. You see it. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are preparing, while the idiots out there are doing nothing except causing trouble, committing acts of crime and violence. But they're criminals. But their acts of violence and what have you ain't gonna last too long. Not the route that they're going. And if once enemy take over and invade this country, I can tell you those people, if they had to try to survive, they would never be able to survive. If they was to evade bullets and get out somewhere out in the woods, those people wouldn't know the first thing what to do. They wouldn't last long, because they're idiots. They'd probably see a bear and they think, well, look, hey, I watched Gentle Ben, and I watched Grizzly Adams, and that one looks cute. Let's go over and make friends with it. Yeah. Or there's a good looking cute buffalo. Let's go make it. Yeah. You got those kind of idiots. And they would be the ones that the person, the berries that they grab to eat would be poison. Yeah. So there you go. So the question is, America, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there on your butts and twiddle your thumbs and think that everything's just going to go your way and smooth, and we're not going to have any war and all this, and everything's just going to be hunky-dory. We're going to have good things in days to come. And or are you going to get up and do something? You're going to try to help spread the word, get more people involved in, get off of this crap and focus on what's important because of what's coming. Because, like I said, it's this country ain't gonna stand. Oh yeah, thanks to Sleepy Joe and his bunch, they're allowing them just to come on over, and these idiots are sitting there saying, "Oh, we're for right these people to come over the country." Well, yeah, people have a right if they come over legally. I mean, there's a reason why there's a wall and why there's a security and stuff there to filter out those who are a threat and those who are not. But here, they're saying, come on, come on, come on. All the crimes and stuff, bring it on. And that's what they're doing. And I guarantee you, because from what a lot of them border agents and stuff have said, that they'd found stuff, IDs and other stuff that was from people from, like from Afghanistan and Libya and stuff, all this, these, and people that are terrorists that have actually made it through these tunnels that they have or get smuggled across, from the, what they call the coyotes. I'm not talking about the dogs. I mean, the smugglers, the people that do human trafficking and all that, they smuggle them across, right? So we got all kinds of enemies here in this country, and but this country won't stand. It just can't. Look at what we're facing. So that's my thoughts that and things that I showed you, those videos and everything. I am hoping that somebody will see this and get, or should I say, wake up out of their sleep and become awake and act, because we are a country that is divided. We need to become united and start making a stand and quit just sitting there, oh, well, I'm just going to sit back and let someone else deal with it because I don't feel like it. Yeah, that's going to be your biggest mistake. And then who are you going to blame? Well, I'm sure you probably will blame somebody other than to blame yourself. See, if I did that, I would be the one that I have to blame myself. We all have to do our part, no matter how small it may be, but we still got to do our part. Don't think that, you're a small fish in a big pond. I mean, we are, but you got to come out with an approach is that you're a small fish in a big pond, that you won't be ignored. Until you become noticed. See, now I don't have a big voice or anything, big channel here. And this probably won't go out to a lot of people, but whoever it goes out to, I'm hoping that person will share this and that they also will be encouraged to do a video about what needs to be done. And, and don't just say it, but show it, what's going on. what's the buzz and stuff that you're not hearing or seeing from the world news. And because the government's trying to keep a lot of this stuff hushity hush from us. So, but the thing is, everyone's focusing on this other crap, on this Roe versus Wade stuff, and all this woke business, and we're just a bunch of morons. I mean, they're idiots, and someone may not like me saying that, but I say it the way I see it, and what's truth. I mean, truth is truth. They're idiots. An idiot is somebody who ain't got no sense. That'd be like you take a grown man who'd been to school, right, and had supposedly an education, but when and he's talking to a friend, a dog comes by, and then the friend may say, "Oh, look at that dog. That's a nice dog." What? That's a dog? I didn't know that. I ain't never seen one before. Well, you first thing you think is, what an idiot. Where has he been? So, I mean, you say it the way it is. I mean, like I say, we might not always be right, but it's better to be upfront saying, this is who I am. This is the way I am. I'm not anybody else, and I'm not going to be anyone else. I'm just going to be me. And I'm going to have honor. I'm going to have dignity. I'm going to have love for life and people of all things. And have a deep love and respect for freedom. That's me. And I will say it the way I see it. And if you ask me if you're going to ask me my opinion on something, I will ask you to reconsider asking me. Because if you insist on asking me, don't get mad if I give you my opinion and you don't like my opinion. Remember, if you ask me that you asked for it, that's just me. If you want my opinion on something, ask me and I'll tell you. And but there's some people though who may ask my opinion, and if I know that person enough to know how they are, and if I tell them my opinion, how they're going to react, well then I will not give them my opinion. On the grounds of that, if I know they're that way, then I'm not going to answer them. But if someone wants an honest opinion, an honest criticism for something, I will do so. And it'll be my thoughts, my opinion. Mind you, I don't, if someone asks my opinion and I give it, and it might not be absolutely 100% correct, I mean, you got to just take my opinion alone. Don't just ask me, ask others too. And then you weigh it out and you're like, yeah, you see what I mean? This world is crazy as it is. So we should learn to love one another, respect each other. Even if we don't agree on everything, we can still respect one another, love one another. And, I look at it this way. There's a lot of times, somebody can do you wrong and they're your enemy. And I mean, there's times, you have enemies that you just like to slap the pull out of them, you know, and what have you. But the thing is, if you see your enemy in a bad situation, and just remember, don't become like them, okay? You show yourself the better person by, you know, if they're hurt, in other words, like say something happens when they're hurt, and you know that they're hurt, you know, like maybe if you don't help them, they're going to die. Don't sit there and allow them to die if you can help it. You know, you help them. Do your best to help them. It is not a good thing to sit there, oh, let them die. Then you're just like them, if not worse. You know, because, you know, things can come back on you. You, you sow the wind, the whirlwind, guess what's coming your way? That's what you're reaping. You know, you got to be careful on what seeds you throw out. You're not going to like what's coming up. But we're seeing a lot of that now, though. I mean, in this country, a lot of people are reaping what they sowed. And then, but the problem with that is that in their reaping, others are getting sucked into it, and it's hurting them. So we gotta try a better way on getting along and become united so that this country can stand. But as it is, it's not. And I'm just saying, from the look of things, it don't look like it's going to get any better. It can't, not unless there's some major changes on the inside, the heart. Unless there's some major changes there, ain't no way this country can stand. You know, so I'm hoping that you will do the right thing, whoever you are out there. And, you know, again, I want to ask, you know, if you would hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You know, that will help this channel to grow. And comment and share, please. And bro, I am glad you dropped in there. And it's 2:50 a.m. and I think I need to do a few things here to get ready before trying to go to sleep. Because I'm going to end up having a big day tomorrow. And oh, by the way, to all you mothers, I want to say, I should have said this at the beginning and I didn't. I want to say Happy Mother's Day. And I'm hoping, excuse me, I'm hoping that you will have a good one. And you mothers, you know, I want to say it is awesome. All you mothers, you took care of your children and you did your best you could in life and you sacrificed a lot. And I say, Wado, thank you for your sacrifice and being such wonderful mothers. And hold on. That's like later today, much later today. I got to scrape up some pennies and stuff, and I need to get out and because I didn't get to do that this week because of gas. I got to get my brother to take me down to the store. I want to get my mother a card, and if I got enough, get her some flowers. She loves plants. She's, you know, but she likes kind of has the roots on them. Yeah. You know, because she loves flowers. She likes looking at them, but the problem is if you get her a vase of flowers or such, you know, that it's just immersed in water, well, hello, I mean, those things are going to eventually die. But she wants to like it where they're growing and they're always there as a reminder. And, you know, she's not in great health, but I have a lot of love and respect from my mother. And I want her always to know that I care for her. And in my book, she's number one. Numero uno, you know, numero uno. And so, to all you mothers out there, I'm hoping that you will have a wonderful, awesome Mother's Day. And I must away. Yeah, because I need to get to bed and stuff. But before I do, I got some things I got to do around here real quick, and then see if I can go to bed and get some shut eye. And I hope, bro, that you get some shut eye and that you will have a wonderful day tomorrow. And hey, you take care. And I'm glad that you stopped in because you're always welcome here, brother. And anytime that you want to even come up here on the panel, always feel free to. Always. And hey, we can talk about anything you want. Hey, you take care, bro. And you have a good night. And I'll catch you later. I'll see you in the funny papers. All right, later, everyone. Later, bro. Until next time, aho and wado.